Sorry about that. So, I've come to a decision regarding what I'm doing this current playthrough, and basically, I am going to start over from scratch with no hope or illusion of being able to finish it before Starfield comes out. I'm hoping to get through at least a good chunk of Act 1. Um, I also don't have any mods installed aside from the multi-class enabler. And there's the reason for why I'm just straight up restarting is severalfold. Um, why is tell me to buy digital deluxe upgrade when I already freaking have it? But okay. Um, Mainly it's just because I don't like the way that. Oh great, yeah, just freaking. The heck is going on with my damn earbuds? I had them like enabled, and then suddenly they just weren't. Um, they just got unpaired suddenly, or disconnected somehow. I don't know why. Okay. Okay. So like we might revisit Whimsy's playthrough. We might even redo that fight that went terribly wrong. Um, but I don't know. I'm really interested in. We're just gonna go ahead and skip this if we can. Is this unskippable? Okay, we can skip it. I don't know. Um, okay. So the major gonna take my earbuds out briefly, because I want to focus my thoughts and basically Whimsy, I don't feel is a character that's really built for this kind of game. I think she works at her best when it's basically what Laura Runner describes as a BRPG. Um, Bethesda RPG, which is kind of. I don't think it's probably a sub. I would say it's probably a sub genre of CRPG. Um, but basically, the first person very much focused on um, you as the main character. Um, she works great in Skyrim. She worked pretty well in on the worlds, although I had to really modify like her strengths and weaknesses a lot because I had to making her charisma build, which is interesting. Um, uh, Also, one of the things that I was thinking of was that like you know in this game I think we're kind of forced more or less to be the face of the party, and Whimsy, at least like in a D&D setting, um, as I conceived her, is not really the face of the party. It isn't really like the leader, like the one making the decision, the big decisions. Like she'll chime in, she'll um you know I don't know, like when she's kind of like on her own more or less with like one or two people with her, which is usually the case in most of the. I can't remember what the party limit in. Like it worked in the Outer Worlds, which is kind of a little weird. Although I think I kind of modified her characteristics a little bit to um fit there. Here, like since this is kind of the origin of her characters, D&D, it felt like a little weird to really kind of. I don't know, like I just don't feel like I also like have this really interesting idea that I think would be interesting to try and play. Um, Also, her being a wizard here is I don't know, like it's kind of fun, but I maybe want to try something else. Like the fact of the matter is, I have not felt like very motivated to just play this. I finally somewhat caught up to. I've been watching the Lore Runners playthrough, and I'm up to part 10, which is about halfway through the videos that he's done so far, and that's about roughly where I am. He actually did manage to succeed in that battle. With I don't know why he's Marcus. I I think I called him Gabriel because of the friggin' wings. Um, is the main thing. Um, I think the big thing here is I have this really interesting concept for a character that I want to try out. And I feel like this character would be kind of, in some ways at least, more of a fit for, you know, what's going on in Baldur's Gate 3. Even though, like, the way that she's kind of involved with Zariel is going to be interesting. Also, I guess the other weird thing is that I think that Whimsy would feel very discouraged by her failure to, like, basically having this entire, like, all of these tieflings wiped out. I almost feel like that's just going to be the bad end because she just her own despair would potentially leave her more susceptible to the curse, maybe, and then she just get overtaken. Like it feels like in war, it would be like I have a disagreement with the DM and the way they handled that particular encounter, and just like if I were actually like in a group, and that's what happened, I would probably eventually just be like, hey, I don't really want to be part of this adventure anymore because I strongly disagree with your philosophy and the way you've been doing things. So like that's kind of the meta explanation, and then the DM out of spite maybe he just had Whimsy out of despair for her failure walk out into the darkness and then get corrupted and the party's face to first to kill her. The end. That would be part 21. The unreleased part 21. Um, I, I might return to it. I might try to find a save where before that happened and just have her succeed. Um, Anyway, we're doing a custom character. It's probably not going to be the Dark Urge, even though it might. I'm not sure she's going to be beefy, even though she's a paladin. Still going to be a tiefling. She would be a Zariel tiefling because she is at least the self-proclaimed daughter of Zariel. Although it's not really a matter of pride so much as so we pick her oath immediately. That's interesting. Um, Probably gonna be. Oath of the Ancients is you fight on the side of light in the cosmic struggle against darkness to preserve the sanctity of life and the beauty of nature. Oath of Devotion. Following the ideal of a knight in shining armor, you act with honor and virtue to protect the weak and pursue the greater good. What are the Oath of Devotion tenets? Okay, here we go. Oath of Devotion tenet paladins abide by the following tenets: courage, stride dauntlessly into action and compassion, sow clemency with prudence, and lend your arm to those in need. Duty tend to your responsibility, obey just laws, and support those entrusted to your care. Yeah, that's not her. Probably Vengeance. Oath of Vengeance tenets. Fight the greater evil, exerting your wisdom, identify the higher morality in any given instance and fight for it. No mercy for the wicked, chasten those who dole out their villainy by wiping their blight from the world forever. Hmm. Noble. That's just the Zariel nobility. Um, Zariellan nobility. Alright, so her strength is. We're gonna. I should print out her base stats here before. Um. Her intelligence, wisdom is her top stat. Her intelligence is supposed to be 11. Huh. I think this is effectively point buy. But I think I made both her strength and her charisma be 15. Which I think is the max you can get. So I have no idea. why it is not allowing me to granted, making your intelligence 11 is not really that important, and making your charisma 17 isn't really that important. Um, it's just that now my character sheet's out of date. Is the problem. And dang it, I can never, whenever I grab a pen, it just disappears eventually. Oh, it's right here, okay. I think 17 would be plus 3. I'm actually fairly confident that's plus 3. And 16 is still plus 3, I think. I mean, 16 and 17 are plus 3, and then I think we can't make her wisdom any lower than that. She's very low wisdom. She's probably about age 19 or so. Like, free stats that deviate from the original character sheet. Um, there's an athletics plus 5. Huh. Not sure that's gonna be. And intimidation, which is what I already had picked. I'm not sure if this takes into account the fact that we get an extra +2 to proficiency bonus from Explorer mode.
Where to next?
What was that?
Let's
Hells. Something just woke up down here.
be wary.
It's opened. I wonder what's back there.
That's probably as close to. I can actually make her very freckled, regardless of what her base face is. Demonic purple? Huh. Hmm.
Lace your heart with mine. Let your sleeping soul take flight. Take me through the night. Down, down, down by the river.
With Darth Maul.
Down, down, down by the river. Hanging moon in fall. This will lead where you belong. Sweep me off my feet. Down, down, down by the river.
That's a beholder. Looks like look for all different styles. That looks. Like none of the. I don't think any of the existing scars will. wanted to have her hair feel like very fiery. That's interesting. Actually has like a very like fiery look to it. Also has a fiery look to it, but I don't think this is interesting. The idea of her hair being kind of curly. Because it's like curly flames. This one looks kind of cool too. Maybe kind of darker a little bit. In between where we were originally and I like the red. Probably the closest hairstyle to a mohawk. Hmm. And do like the graying to kind of that's kind of like the bird shade in the just to add some extra licks of orange to her. I like that. I wish we had more horn styles. creatures to go by. Oh, Barovia Fangs. I don't really get to see the freckles that much underneath all the... Oh, I actually can look at the... Okay, let's... Okay. Huh? No, no. Are you, are you freaking kidding me? 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 Oh my god! Undo! Where the frick is undo? Go to hell! Well, chat is gone until I frickin' redo the entire character creation process because for some reason they decided to just go
There's magic keeping this chest sealed.
Where to next?
all the way back to square one. Oh, there we go. It okay, we still got our stats. Athletics and intimidation. Let's go ahead and get several different screenshots. What the hell's going on here? This is a little too zoomed in. Yeah, you can't see all this. The strands of her hair will be a. There you go. So that's, I think, roughly where we were before. Those are only levels of zoom we have anyway. Quit taking me back to the friggin'. Did we already? No, we didn't. Okay, cool. I could also just do the full. Why not have the full? All 3 levels of zoom. Can I not? There we go. Yeah, I think this could be it for screenshots for now. I'm not sure how much I can. If I'm going to try to play a little bit of the way in for session 0. Yeah, I got go back to there we go. Asterian. No, it's not.
You need a guardian. Choose one.
Hmm. We can't make them a. That's interesting. They can't be dragonborn. Interesting. You can't have a dragonborn guardian. Wait, can
Follow your instinct.
Remarkable. Truly.
hmm. Hey, human.
Good luck.
Follow your instincts. Don't be afraid.
Bruner braids. Okay, how do we skip? Okay, we can skip with the X button apparently.
My head.
Okay, so I think we're probably gonna wrap things up here since it's session 0, but I also want to get into Makaria's backstory. So I think we're gonna um, finish things off with that. Did I just get rid of the bookmark that? I think I just got rid of the bookmark that I had here. Okay, so Makaria is the daughter of this lovely lady, or may not biological, but at least like adopted or something. Um, Might have to do a fair amount of research to like really flesh out like what she knows. I don't know. About like the descent into Avernus stuff. Um, but anyway, the concept of her character is that she is well, her alignment, as I have currently established, is chaotic neutral. Um, Basically, the conceit, the concept of her character is that she is basically going through something of a rebellion. I don't know what the lifespan of a tiefling is. Um, Probably a little bit longer. Where is my player's handbook? Do I have a bookmark on tiefling? Yes, I do. Okay. They live. Okay, I'm just gonna say she's 19. Um, she's 19 years old. She's going through something of a rebellious phase, um, so to speak. Basically, she was raised among like the nobility or whatever of Avernus, as it were. But like she's basically I think more or less she used probably the chaos of whatever happened during descent in Avernus to escape the hells, and is now looking to make her name for herself, make a name for herself as a heroic adventurer of the paladin persuasion, even though she has not yet to really um, settle up on any particular deity at present. Um, I might have to look for the actual Faerunian pantheon to like decide which she would potentially latch onto. Um, so the idea behind her is that she, at least initially, doesn't quite like. She wants to be good, to rebel against her mother's uh, evil tendencies and such, but because she was raised among people who have an evil disposition, she doesn't really have quite exactly a grasp on what actually constitutes good. Like there's like evil is just everything she kind of despises about her mother. Like that's this kind of um so she'll avoid those things, but like violence and bloodshed and um certain things along those lines are uh are perfectly kind of fine for her. Like she's not particularly good with conflict resolution. Um, she has low wisdom, average to above average intelligence, um, probably above average for an adventurer anyway. But she's fairly book smart. Um, Initially, she would have 11, so she'd have a slight edge. But apparently, there's either I didn't do my math correctly, or there's just some differences of how character creation works in here than the the player's handbook. I don't know. Now she has slightly more strength, well, substantially more strength, and a little less charisma. But the bonuses are the same. I don't think any of the bonuses have actually changed. So it's just the base numbers that have. Oh well, the bonus for strength has changed, so that's good. Um, so one thing that I was considering, and I'm not quite sure how it's going to work out, is the idea that she would end up siding with the goblins and recruiting the drow. I don't know if that's gonna happen. Um, like I already had a little bit of doubts because I think the way that the events play out, um, you just run into the tieflings, and I think she would potentially be uh, uh, it's very likely that she would end up siding with them. uh, Maybe. Uh, might see there's a plot summary of Descent into Avernus, just to like. I'll probably also just read the whole article on Zariel to um, get a good read on uh, how all that works out. Um, I did some research to like fully flesh out um, the character I just created. Um, so I'll actually be playing her tomorrow. Uh, so this she made overall like there's a few reasons why I'm reluctant to have her side with the absolute cult. Uh, First and foremost, um, the fact that it locked us out from a fair number of potential companions. Karlak first and foremost. Um, because it would not be my intention to actually play Makaria as an outright evil character, misguided in many respects, but um, but not, she's trying to be good, but goodness is the goal. Granted, she's being good for ultimately our selfish reasons because she wants to. She wants to piss off her adoptive mother, but um, but yeah, I mean, it's the thing playing her versus Whimsy, because Whimsy doesn't have like a lot of Whimsy's character arc doesn't really work with this game. Like the idea of her like failing, like I like the idea of her like failing a little bit, like from a role playing standpoint. With the whole that whole in later on spoilers. Um, there's something bad that can happen in Act 2 of the game. Um, but you can't really role play that the despair or the sense of being you know I don't think there's a lot of opportunity to actually like role play that and role play how your character feels about having failed there. Um, so hopefully this time we will succeed. So yeah, anyway, once again, uh, I'm planning on playing this probably. I'm gonna try and aim to get through the first act before we jump into Starfield. Um, I can make no promises, especially since we're starting from scratch again, or well, for the first time technically. Um, starting over from scratch. So the other thing that's going to probably differentiate from Makaria from Whimsy is that she's probably going to lean in a fair amount more to the illithid powers. At least potentially. You're not even always on purpose, because she has wisdom is her dump stat, and intentionally in this case. Um, I don't think Whimsy had like a particular dump stat. Um, I don't know if I have a like new character sheet I printed out for this incarnation of her character. I think it's probably somewhere. Anyway, I might have to reprint this out so I can get the actual. Also, let's look at our proficiency bonus is 4. So yeah, athletics is +7. So I was right about that. Persuasion, intimidation, history. Which isn't shown here for whatever reason. It's so weird how... I mean, you think they would have patched that? And she could basically use any weapon she wants. And of course, for whatever reason, I mean, it might just be because we're playing an Explorer. I had to imagine maybe that we just have proficiency for everything rather than... Anyway, tomorrow afternoon, we will be playing, and I will have maybe a few more ideas for her character, but, oh, it doesn't really tell you. He's here. Anyway, I think I've gone over everything in her backstory that is currently pertinent. I'll probably review it tomorrow too, just for anyone who tunes in then. For part 1. But anyway, as always, there are a number of things you can do that'll take a few seconds of your time, as well as other things that are a bit more involved. But of course, all of that is completely up to you. And regardless, I thank you